It is 12:08 right now. We have some breaking news into the ABC 15 newsroom. Good morning, everyone. We have a giant fire that has erupted right along I-10 and I-17 there, just north of the stack. You can see the massive flames and the dark plumes of smoke here. This thing's spreading very, very quickly, and fire crews are just arriving on the scene. It started about 10 minutes ago here and has grown fairly quickly. This is an industrial area of the city, if you're familiar with it, right there at I-17 and I-10, right at the stack, really right around McDowell and 22nd Avenue, to pinpoint it a little bit more for you. It's a very busy part of the freeway. You can see just to the north corner there, that freeway is shut down at this hour. That's going to cause problems for you if you are driving. Obviously, we've got a lot of black smoke there, too, and I have the Phoenix Fire Department on the line with us right now. Shelley, I'm sorry, and your last name, producers?
Shelley Jameson with Phoenix Fire. I'm a division chief in public affairs.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. I know a lot of calls are coming in here quickly. What is this area, and is it toxic at this point? Is it a concern?
From what I can see from the dispatch information, which is very basic, I have not spoken to anybody on the scene because obviously they're deeply involved in mitigating this fire. Kicked out about 20 minutes ago, 2144 West McDowell Road, and the name of the company is Liberty Metals. So, of course, if there are metals involved, we're talking about hazardous materials. There is a first alarm response that has arrived at the scene, which includes a number of hazardous materials trucks from multiple cities. We do have an automatic aid system, which allows us to bring in hazardous materials and other trucks across other lines if necessary. And in this case, it looks like we need a lot of water and materials and firefighters to take care of this thing. Not clear, again, what's burning. If the reports are accurate, this is either a metals company, and then I saw something from DPS that may be some type of recycling company.
It does look like it's spreading fairly quickly here. Whatever is inside it appears would be fairly flammable. We're looking at the dark smoke here coming across the sky. What should people in that neighborhood know right now about trying to avoid all of that?
Well, fortunately, as you said, DPS has shut down westbound I-10 to northbound I-17 for our firefighters to access the area. We have laid large supply lines. We have multiple trucks in place, including ladder companies and engine companies and the hazardous materials component. For residents in the area, if anybody has even an inkling of odor from this fire, I would suggest they close all windows, bring your animals indoors, and naturally turn off any type of cooler that you may have running.
And Shelley, we're seeing a lot of these big, long buildings there. This is a very industrial area, as we were talking about. Do we believe that all of these belong to Liberty Metals?
I don't have that information, Connie. I'm unable to tell you that at this time. As you said, it's industrial, so frequently you will see multiple companies set up in one area. Difficult to know what they all are. Some of them just have suite numbers. They don't all necessarily even have signs in front of them, so I don't have that information yet.
Air 15 over the scene as we're taking a look at this, and we're getting it from a couple of different vantage points in our traffic cams and things. Shelley, as you take a look kind of behind the scenes of this, help us understand what they're evaluating when they look at a potential hazmat situation.
You know, that's a very good question, Connie. We have hazardous materials technicians who go through up to 6 weeks of training, and not only specialty training that involves materials that would be absorbed or inhaled or otherwise spread to the public or ourselves, but we also carry special equipment. We have meters, different types of foam that fight these types of fires. So we definitely have the right people on scene for the job, and as I said, we work closely with other cities. We train together, use the same standard operating procedures. Our equipment hooks up together. We use the same tactical channels on the radio so we can talk to one another. It is an extremely seamless operation. Right now, although it looks very dramatic, the public couldn't be better protected.
And as we look at this coordinated effort, tell me quickly, who are some of these different departments that are responding now, different cities?
And as you asked me that, I just paged it down on my screen. Typically, we run hazardous calls with all cities in our automatic aid dispatch system. We have Phoenix, of course. Glendale has an excellent hazardous materials team. Chandler, Mesa, Surprise, all of these folks bring training to these incidents. Right now, this is in Phoenix, so we do have primarily Phoenix units. although I see that we have a battalion chief from Glendale, and we can call in other units as needed.
All right, and we're seeing another truck there now with water on it. And I guess you would have to, as you're looking at this, Shelley, say, well, it looks like the good news is the water is putting it out, so that may limit some of the hazardous materials that may be inside that would need foam or some special chemical.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the things that I saw reported on the dispatch, which may or may not be accurate, that there might be titanium. Well, titanium, propane, other products like that would not easily be extinguished with water. But you're absolutely correct. If we're seeing it go down a little bit, the water's doing the trick, and we brought plenty of big water to this scene.
Liberty Metals, if our understanding is correct, is a scrap metal facility. There's a lot of scrap metal apparently on site. What types of scrap metals? We really wouldn't be able to guess at this point, would we?
No, I couldn't tell you, but I do know that any type of recycling event such as this one, there's a lot of guessing going on. And so from our part as first responders and emergency personnel, we're very careful. We take a stance that if it's going to spread, we're not going to be in the way. If it's going to be spreading any type of chemicals either through smoke or a runoff from the water, then of course we're going to do any damming and diking that's necessary, and of course get the word out to the public, just as you're doing right now.
And Shelley, you know, when you're looking at this now, we can see some of the fire going towards the back here, and there's some barrels and things on the other side of this wall. It looks like some of the wood plats there are starting to burn. There could be chemicals on the other side as it goes to the building, just to the what it looks like maybe the north of this. Obviously, trying to keep this thing contained is of utmost importance right now.
Absolutely. You are absolutely correct. And we always spot defensively in fires like this. We utilize our ladder companies. They will extend the ladder. And, of course, we use engines to pump water to those ladder companies, and that's where we get big water, up to 2,000 gallons at a time to put on fires like this. And not only do we address the fire, and I think you can see the ladder stream sweeping across the actual fire right now, we'll use it defensively. Just as you said, we put it in areas where the fire has not spread and try to prevent it from doing so.
We're talking about this being a 2-alarm now. Is that what I'm hearing, and what would that mean?
And that's a good, I have not seen it updated, but that would probably be accurate. When you look at a fire of this size, I'm sure they're sending more units.
Okay, Shelley, thank you so much. You've been a wealth of information. We want to keep you by as this thing continues to develop.